What's going on, Blazoneers and Blazonettes? So I am continuing my countdown to Kong Skull Island, and now we were on to where the two legends meet, where King Kong versus Godzilla. Now, I didn't even know that this came out, but prior to me coming across this movie, me and my friends were talking about who would win between Kong and Godzilla, and of course they said Kong would win, and I said Godzilla would win because he has the atomic breath. He can just basically set him on fire, turn him, just turn him into a shish kebab, pretty much, or barbecue his ass, with his atomic breath. So, and then when I saw that this movie did actually come out, I'm like, oh, I gotta see this. I gotta see who wins. And I was Team Godzilla the whole way, and and then you see that this is actually like basically a follow-up to, I guess, the last Godzilla movie that came out, which was Gigantus the Fire Monster, but it was also titled Godzilla Raids Again. That movie basically ended where they buried Godzilla into an iceberg, where they basically, he was walking around, like on like around an iceberg, and then they buried him in it. And then that's how we see him, where he breaks out of his ice prison, and I think a submarine crashes into the iceberg, and then that's what basically helps Godzilla be free from his prison. And that's where the people of Japan have to deal with him again. And then while this is all happening, a chairman of a pharmaceutical company learns of these Roma tomato-sized berries on an island, and it basically, it's a miracle cure. And then he goes there to grab a hold of some, wants to go and get these berries, and then they see King Kong, and who has grown into he grown into a giant size. Like, his size is all because from those berries. And they're thinking, ooh, money, let's promote this, and bring Kong with us to, just to show what it does. And basically, so they have him strapped into, to this cardboard or whatever out on the sea, like, like outside, like with the boat or whatever. And there's C4 all around it. So, like, in case, I guess, if Kong got out of hand, or if he started to, cause trouble, then, boop, okay, let's just, blow him out of the water. Because not everyone is on board with basically bringing him back. I mean, like, the chairman, all he cares about is publicity, and all he cares about is, his own agenda. You know what I mean? But, so it came to that point where there was, where, okay, Kong's waking up. I guess we better, shoot. We better shoot the explosives, so, just to be safe. And then they do that. And then turns out Kong is not dead. Not a scratch on him. See, if this was with the original Kong, he would have died from that. So they made Kong bigger, stronger, and he's basically seems to be immune to gunfire in this movie. So there you go. So I guess that's that'll be the more logical route to do, because otherwise Godzilla would slaughter him otherwise. But anyway, so fast forwarding to when Kong and Godzilla finally meet. Kong's throwing rocks at him, and then Godzilla lets out his atomic breath on him, and then that basically scares off Kong pretty much. and I was amused to that, and then how can you not get enough of Godzilla's little his little end zone dance where he's flapping his arms? I love it. And then and then they try to reenact the original King Kong movie by having Kong grab a hold of a woman, and then he climbs on top of a building. And then, just like how they captured him before, they had, like where they had, the drums playing and everything, and then it puts him to sleep, pretty much. And then that's what, they did again. And then and then everyone came up with this plan. Let's have him fight Godzilla, and hopefully they will both be dead. So that's what happens. And then Kong, has a rematch with Godzilla, and then Godzilla, Kong was holding his own for a bit, but eventually Godzilla was whooping his ass. So, and it looked like Kong was basically going to be a goner at this point until he's hit by lightning, and then that's what gives him the upper hand against Godzilla, and then it eventually leads to them both fighting and fighting and fighting, and then they fall into the water, and then next thing you know, like, okay, what happened? What happened? And then we see Kong swim away, and then Godzilla's nowhere to be found, and that pissed me off because I was rooting for Godzilla to beat him. Ugh. But I mean, like now I like both of the creatures, so I would be like, oh, like if I were to watch this now, I would be like, I'm a bigger Godzilla fan, but Kong has, I've grown to love Kong like over the years, but this is forgiven. But in this is in the U.S. version where they made Kong the victor, and you hear Kong's roar at the end of the movie. And I heard in the Japanese version, they made it seem like Godzilla won, and you hear Godzilla's roar at the end of the movie. But you see Kong swim away. You don't see Godzilla. So I was in denial into thinking like maybe Godzilla whooped his ass, and then Kong is swimming away like, fuck this, I'm not fighting him anymore. But, and it's, I guess the more realistic thing it would have to be is that Kong won that fight, and it looks as if he may have killed Godzilla and got away, but most likely he didn't. He just basically defeated him in that battle where Godzilla just lost. But as silly as the movie was and as silly as the effects were, that's all they could do at that time. They got actors in bodysuits and stuff. But hey, I grew up watching that shit, and it's like a gemstone in my heart. It is. And when you first see Kong for the first time, and then the island was being attacked by an octopus, and then he fights the octopus off, and then luckily he did not kill. Luckily for the octopus, Kong didn't kill him. He basically basically beat the shit out of him, and he scared him off, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, since I love this movie, I don't care how bad the effects were, it was fantastic, in my eyes. So this gets 4 chair spins out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 motherfucking solid chair spins. So, okay, now I'm going to continue on my countdown to Kong Skull Island. So if you guys enjoyed my review on this movie, make sure you thumb up the video. Make sure you click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching. And you're probably going to hear me say this quite a bit, but I cannot fucking wait to see the rematch. And, for this day in the 21st century, it's going to be fucking epic. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.